guys, this is Moni from PTE Magic. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, and if you have been watching my videos on YouTube, you probably have already seen many videos on how to get 90 in the mock test and also in the real test. But I have recently noticed that the majority of my subscribers are actually male students, and I have also been receiving many inquiries from male students on how to boost their speaking score, which is why in the video today I'll be sharing with you guys a recording of the mock test which was completed by one of our students who already achieved 90 in PTE speaking. So as you can see, his actual score report is not as perfect as the mock test. However, he was still able to achieve 79 plus for all 4 modules. Specifically for speaking, he got 90. And very important to mention that he's not someone who already possessed a solid English background. I'll probably say that his background was pretty average, and the scores that he got were because of his hard work and also the strategies that he used in the exam room. Personally, I truly believe that the best way to learn is by watching the real examples. You can watch this video and see for yourself what did he do differently to get such a high score. And as I said before, everyone is different, so just choose whatever works for you. But before we get started, if you're not my subscriber, please click the subscribe button below so that you can see more videos like this. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the box below.
The course includes an extensive unit on climate change and requires all students to read the Stern Review on the Economics of Climate Change, which was published last year. The course delves into the science behind the issue and the challenges it poses to business and government, as well as a discussion on possible solutions. The course delves into the science behind the issue, the challenges it poses to business and government, as well as discussion. The course includes an intensive unit on climate change and requires all students to read the Stern Review on the Economics of Climate Change, which was published last year. The course delves into the science behind the issue, the challenges it poses to business and government, as well as a discussion on possible solutions. In the fast-changing world of modern healthcare, the job of a doctor is more and more like a job of a chief executive. The people who run hospitals and physicians' practices don't just need to know medicine, they must also be able to balance budgets and motivate a large and diverse staff and make difficult marketing and legal decisions. In the fast-changing world of modern healthcare, the job of a doctor is more and more like a job of a chief executive. The people who run hospitals and physicians' practices don't just need to know medicine, they must also be able to balance budgets, motivate a large and diverse staff, and make difficult marketing and legal decisions. Environmental problems caused by hard rock mining involve water pollution by metals themselves, chemicals used in processing, acid, drainage, and sediments. Metals and metal-like elements in the ore are toxic and prone to cause trouble by ending up in nearby streams and water tables as a result of mining operations. Environmental problems caused by hard rock mining involve water pollution by metals themselves, chemicals used in processing, acid drainage, and sediment. Metals and metal-like elements in the ore are toxic and prone to cause trouble by ending up in nearby streams and water tables as a result of mining operations. In recent years, there have been one or more one or two significant happenings that have kept alive that the deep sea may conceal strange links with the past. In December 1938, off the southern tip of Africa, an amazing fish was caught alive, a fish that was supposed to have been dead for at least 16 million years. In recent years, there have been one or two significant happenings that have kept alive the hope that the deep sea may conceal strange links with the past. In December 1938, off the southern tip of Africa, an amazing fish was caught alive, a fish that was supposed to have been dead for at least 16 million years. In multilingual countries, code mixing, the use of more than one variety in the same utterance or sentence, and code switching, the use of different languages or varieties between sentences, is common and natural. Despite its frequency, or perhaps because of it, some scholars and self-appointed guardians of linguistic morality view both code mixing and code switching as a sign of linguistic deficiency. Code mixing, code switching. In multilingual countries, code mixing, the use of more than one variety in the same utterance or sentence, and code switching, the use of different languages or varieties between sentences, is common and natural. Despite its frequency, or perhaps because of it, some scholars and self-appointed guardians of linguistic morality view both code mixing and code switching as a sign of linguistic deficiency. In this landmark account, first published over 20 years ago, the author argues that the ignorance and lethargy of the poor are the direct result of the whole situation of economic, social, and political domination, while being kept in a situation in which critical awareness and response are practically impossible. The disadvantaged are kept submerged. In this landmark account, first published over 20 years ago, the author argues that the ignorance and lethargy of the poor are the direct result of the whole situation of economic, social, and political domination. By being kept in a situation in which critical awareness and response are practically impossible, the disadvantaged are kept submerged.
Students must observe lab safety regulations at all times.
Students must observe lab safety regulation at all times.
It's the words of common occurrence that have different referential value.
It's the words of common occurrence that have different referential values.
The office said Dr. Smith will arrive later today.
The office said Dr. Smith will arrive later today.
Student Services provides help with housing and transport.
Student Services provide help with housing and transport.
A study skills seminar is on for students who require assistance.
A study skills seminar is on for students who need additional help.
Any textual references you make should be cited appropriately in the footnotes.
Any text or references you make must be cited appropriately in the footnotes.
The research paper should begin with a thorough review of the literature.
The research paper should begin with a thorough review of the literature.
The aesthetic implications of this study have not yet been fully explored.
The aesthetics implications of this study have not yet been fully explored.
The inherent tension between these two features remains to be addressed.
The inherent tension between these two features remains to be addressed.
Journalism is the collection and publication or transmission of news.
Journalism is the collection and publication or transmission of news. Largest city worldwide: London, Tokyo, New York. The picture is about the largest city worldwide. It also provides information about categories such as 1950, 2000, 2015. As seen from the picture, the maximum is New York, which can be seen as 21. In contrast, the minimum is London, which can be seen at 8. So in conclusion, the picture provides crucial information strongly supported by facts and figures, having significant impacts on categories such as Sao Paulo, Mexico City, Tokyo, Delhi, and Mumbai. Calories per day: 1975, 80. The picture is about calories per day. It also provides information about categories such as 1975, 1980, 1985. As seen from the picture, the maximum is North America, which can be seen at 3600 calories. In contrast, the minimum is Europe and Central Asia, which can be seen at 2200 calories. So in conclusion, the picture provides crucial information strongly supported by facts and figures, having significant impacts on categories such as war and Africa. Injury location: leisure sport. 1A. The picture is about injury location. It also provides information about categories such as home, leisure, and sport. As seen from the picture, the maximum is school and childcare, which can be seen at 41.4%. In contrast, the minimum is work, which can be seen as 15.2%. So in conclusion, the picture provides crucial information strongly supported by facts and figures, having significant impact on categories such as order and roads. Population growth and projected population of Sydney. The picture is about population growth and projected population of Sydney from 1976 to 2031. As seen from the picture, the maximum is 1976, which can be seen as 6 billion. In contrast, the minimum is 2001 census, which can be seen at 3 billion. So in conclusion, the picture provides crucial information strongly supported by facts and figures, having significant impact on categories such as 2031 projected Taipei 101. The picture is about the height of towers in the world. It also provides information about categories such as Taipei, Kuala Lumpur. As seen from the picture, the maximum is Taipei 101, which can be seen at 1,670 feet. In contrast, the minimum is Petronas Towers 1 and 2, which can be seen at 1,483 feet. In conclusion, the picture provides crucial information strongly supported by facts and figures, having significant impact on the Sears Tower of Chicago. Manufacturing output in the UK. 1999, 2000, 2001. The picture is about manufacturing output in the UK. It also provides information about categories such as 1999, 2000, 2001. As seen from the picture, the maximum is 2002, which can be seen as 104%. In contrast, the minimum is 2003, which can be seen at 96. In conclusion, the picture provides crucial information strongly supported by facts and figures, having significant impact on categories such as 2004, 2005, 2006.
Milk is not typical of all monasteries for many reasons. First, it is very grand, which most, especially later foundations, aren't. Secondly, it was founded in the countryside, whereas in the 17th and 18th centuries, a good proportion of foundations were made in towns. Thirdly, it still owns a substantial amount of land, because fourthly, it lies in the Austrian Republic, the only European country where grand old monasteries have been in continuous existence since they were founded, 900, 1,000, even in one case 1,200 years ago.
The lecture is about Make Monastery, as the speaker said that it is very grand. The Make Monastery was founded in the countryside. In addition, the speaker also denoted that the Make Monastery owned a substantial amount of land, and in addition, it also located in Austria. So in conclusion, the Make Monastery is very important to our life, and it had a significant impact on our history. Financial
Corruption comes at a huge economic and social cost, and that cost is felt most acutely by the world's poor. Dr. Arnold has already given the staggering figure of $1 trillion US that's paid in bribes worldwide. It is an extraordinary figure. It's a figure that equals 10 times what is paid each year by donors in international development assistance. 10 times development assistance. And even this huge amount, $1 trillion, could be an underestimate because it's very difficult to capture a number of the more elusive transactions within the public sector that involve corrupt dealings, such as budget leakages and asset theft. Corruption sharpens income inequality, and it impacts disproportionately on the poor. In many countries, corruption works as a regressive tax on household incomes. Regressive because it impacts much more on the poor than the more wealthy. Compared with higher income groups, lower income families pay a much larger share of their incomes in bribes to access basic public services. and their overall access to those services is reduced.
The lecture is about corruption versus development aid. As the speaker said that corruption comes up as significant cost. Each year there are many billions in bribe. In addition, the speaker also denoted that this figure is 10 times the international development made by donors. And there are problems such as budget leaks and asset theft. So in conclusion, the corruption has a significant impact on the poor and low-income families, as these families pay a lot more than higher-income families.
This is Hans Krebs, who in 1937 published a paper showing the sequence of chemical reactions, by which energy is released in individual cells. It's called the Krebs cycle, which some of you may remember from your chemistry course in high school. Krebs is a wonderful example to me of how a scientist who is determined can overcome all kinds of human obstacles. Krebs' father constantly discouraged him and told him that he had just mediocre intelligence and would never do anything important in his life as a teenager. What Krebs remembers in his memoir, his father said to him, "You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear." And later on, when Krebs studied with the great biochemist Otto Warburg, Warburg also told him the same thing, not the same quote, but that he had only mediocre ability and would never be a great scientist. And we all hear about how important it is for parents to encourage their children, but sometimes the children will go on to do great things no matter what we say to them.
The lecture is about Hans Krebs. As the speaker said that Hans Krebs published a paper of chemical reaction. This can be remembered as the Krebs cycle from high school. In addition, the speaker also denoted that Krebs is an example of how to overcome humans' obstacles. Krebs used to study with Warburg, and in conclusion, Krebs is an example of how we can do great things in life, and students can go on to do many wonderful things no matter what we tell them to do.
To which of our senses do all of the following words relate? Opaque, vivid, brilliant, shiny.
Vivid.
In a recession, does economic activity increase, slow down, or stay the same?
Slow down.
In medical terms, are antibodies harmful or beneficial for patients?
Harmful.
Would a person suffering problems with their vision consult a biologist or an optometrist?
Optometrist.
Would fresh milk last longer in a fridge or in a cool cupboard?
Fridge.
Historians use evidence to draw conclusions about the past. Would a contemporary artist's painting of an ancient battle be an original source or a secondary source?
Ordinary source.
What is the subject of study at a culinary institute?
Not sure.
Where would you expect to find equipment like microscopes, Bunsen burners, beakers, and petri dishes?
Not sure.
What is the name of the field of study that studies the human mind and behavior?
psychology.
A planet or galaxy that is very distant can be seen with what device?
Telescope.
So thank you guys for taking time to watch the entire video, and I hope it was helpful for you. The thing I like about this student is that he was quite calm and he didn't really care about his accent, or he didn't try to imitate the native speaker's accent. And of course there were some flaws and minor mistakes too, but it didn't prevent him from getting a perfect score 90 out of 90 in the mock test B. In my next video I'll be sharing some common mistakes that you guys make in the test room, which are the reasons why you can't pass the test. But for the meantime, please study hard and I hope you pass your test soon. Bye!